Mr. President, I just came back from an event at the National Press Club, hosted by the American Economic Liberties Project, on the plague of high food costs that are maddening to so many Americans. People are fed up. Donald Trump promised to bring food costs down, and instead, they've gone up. Last month, the Secretary of Agriculture said it can cost around $3 a meal for a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a corn tortilla, and one other thing. This is nonsense. So this morning, as part of Democrats' lowering cost agenda, I was proud to join my colleagues to introduce the Family Grocery and Farmer Relief Act. There are many reasons why food costs have risen, including Trump's tariffs, including supply chain problems. But there's a deeper structural problem under the surface, too: monopoly power. A handful of powerful corporations have turned food and farming into a rigged game. Today, only 4 companies control 85% of the market for beef, 67% of the market for pork, and 60% of the market for poultry. When so much market power is concentrated within so few corporations, Americans at the grocery store see prices go up, while farmers see their profits go down, and corporate players have free rein to rig the system. Today, a pound of ground beef is more expensive than ever, at $7 a pound. The price of beef in general has risen 16% in just a year, to $6 a pound. This is not sustainable. So my bill rests on a simple idea. To lower costs, we need more competition, and to create more competition, we have to break the stranglehold of these monopoly corporations. We've done it before, we can do it again. Fighting monopoly power is a tried and true tradition in the American ethos of progress. Over 120 years ago, Upton Sinclair published The Jungle, and it opened the eyes of the nation to working conditions in meatpacking plants and to the awful monopoly powers that dominated the industry. Soon after, the FTC was created, the Federal Trade Commission, to investigate monopolies and anti-competitive behavior that raised prices and made it harder for small and medium businesses to compete and thrive. And a few years after that, the Congress responded to these findings by passing the Packers and Stockyards Act, which curbed the power of the meatpacking giants and gave the federal government tools to restore competition and protect producers. Well, history's repeating itself. Those monopolies are dominating food industry, and particularly the meat industry, as they did 120 years ago. And we should follow the path that occurred back then when we curbed the power of monopolies. We have to do the same in our day and age, and history gives us a great example. Americans love the free market and open competition, but they don't love it when just 1 or 2 companies can dominate an industry and make fair competition impossible. That's not American. That's not a free market. That's how costs go up for something as basic as a pound of ground beef. Our bill will break the monopoly power that has played a sinister role in raising prices of beef and groceries. And I thank my colleagues who have joined in this legislation, including, well, I'll ask unanimous consent to add the list of sponsors. It keeps growing.
Objection.
Now on tariff refunds. Yesterday, a federal judge sent the Trump administration a very clear message. Mr. President, refund the tariffs. In the wake of the Supreme Court's ruling invalidating a large portion of the president's tariffs, the U.S. Court of International Trade in New York said yesterday that importers are entitled to refunds. But let's be very clear. The people who deserve a refund from Donald Trump's trade war are American households and small businesses, not large corporations. When the tariffs hit, large companies often pass the buck over to their customers. They're the ones, the customers are the ones who are owed the refund. So today, Senator Wyden and I are calling on the United States Chamber of Commerce to tell their members to pass savings of any tariff refunds to American consumers. If any refunds happen, large companies should not keep them, but rather pass them back to consumers. It's simple fairness that the financial burden borne by small businesses and working people should not become a windfall for large corporations' balance sheets. American consumers and small businesses didn't choose this trade war and therefore should not have to pay for this trade war. They are owed a refund. They need to be made whole. I'm glad that some companies have already announced they will pass refunds over to customers, and I urge the Chamber of Commerce to push more of their members to do the same.